In this video, I'm going to show you my top 5 pillars on how to make money on Amazon with private label products. Let's go. All right, guys, so what is the best way to make money on Amazon with private label products? Now, for beginners, private label products is basically putting your own brand on the product, whether you get it from overseas, whether you get it from America, wherever you want to get it from. That's what private label is just putting your own private label or private brand on that product. So what are my top 5 pillars that you need to have in place to at least put yourself in the position to make money and see if your product's going to make money, see if it's a good product, see if it's a bad product, so on. So this is my top 5, guys. Let's get started. Okay, number 1, you have to have a good product. Nothing's going to work if you don't have a good product. 2 through 5 are not going to work if your product is not a great product. So number 2, optimizations. Number 3, review strategy. Number 4, you have to send to FBA, get the Prime badge. And number 5, we're doing sponsored ads. So number 1, what is a good product? There's a lot of stuff on the internet. What's a good product? What's a bad product? In my expertise, I've made 7 figures on Amazon. I also have a consulting side of my business, and I've seen almost every different category. I have restricted products, products in the medicine field, products in sports and fitness, products in hardware, all over the place, grocery, everything. So I've seen so much on Amazon. I know what works, I know what doesn't work. So I'm not just coming at this as like, hey, I've had some success. No, I've actually helped people get from $5,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, all different clients with their own products and their own brands. So anyways, guys, what makes a good product, in my opinion? Price. And normally the thing about price is people put this way lower on the scale. So price is huge because your product will, all this stuff's not going to even matter if you can't make a profit. So I see people doing $9.99 items and $19.99 items and $14 items. It doesn't work because you have no margin. If you get a $14 product, Amazon's going to eat up 30% of that already, and your product costs you $5, $6. There's just no money there. So I normally tell people to start $29.99 and up if you're doing a new private label product. If you have a whole product line and you're kind of further on, you could do a $10 item if your brand is well known, or there's so many different factors. But if you're new, my opinion, start with $29.99 and up. And that way, if you find a good product, most likely you'll have a decent margin. If you can get the product for $7, $8, Amazon takes their percentage, you're left with a 33 or a 40% margin. In my opinion, that's good. You can always reinvest that money and buy a product with every sale you make. That's the idea. Demand, it's going to have good demand, guys. If it's low demand, it doesn't matter if it's the best product in the world. If nobody's buying it, then it's not going to sell, obviously. So you normally don't want to be the very first to the market. You don't want to be last, but you don't want to be first. Not trendy. So I see it all the time. People come in and they see stuff on infomercials and stuff on TV, and then they'll go to Amazon, they see if it's a good product. Most of the time these are trendy products, like whether it be like the newest gadget or something that is well known, super trendy. You're never gonna make it in these categories because everybody on earth is trying to do the same thing. You cannot do that. Don't go in and sell iPhone cases. It's not gonna work. You'll never make money at it. The next thing is in a specialized niche. This is like one of my favorites because I don't hear a lot of people talking about this, but it's huge. You need to give yourself the best chance of winning at a product. You need to be in a specialized niche. What I mean by this is not necessarily kitchen knives like everybody's trying to do, or some kind of kitchen utensil. A specialized niche is something that only a specific and a certain amount of people are gonna know about. Like whether somebody runs track and field or something, they're gonna know what are great shoes. They're gonna know the awesome accessories that come with that. Whereas I don't run track anymore, so I don't really know what's a good product. So I would probably not import a track and field product. But if you know that really well, or if it's a specialized niche that most people are just not even going to touch, they're going to stay away, that's always a good niche to get in. Is something where you need to either know a lot about it, or it's a specialized deal where most people just say, I don't know anything about that niche, so I'm not going to look any further on my, when they're looking for their products. So that's just another layer. Another layer on top of that is a restricted category. That's always great. Restricted categories, 99% of people see a restricted category and they just jump ship. They don't even try and look for products in that category. They just say, I'm not doing it, it's too hard. These layers are awesome. You can't just always go into a category that everybody can just upload. There's no restrictions. There's definitely opportunity, but I'm just telling you the best ways to have the best chance of success. So the next thing is major brand competitors. Most people see major brand competitors and they just kind of shy away. Like, it's not always a bad thing, because if there's a major brand competitor, most of the time, and if you can find it, they're super expensive. So what you do is you want to come in, maybe have a similar item, but you can offer your price and still make money at 50% of their cost or whatever it may be. So if there's a major brand involved, as long as they're not super competitive and prices at the bottom, a lot of these major brands have rock bottom pricing that they can go. So sometimes even if you beat their price by 50%, they can't afford to adjust their price because they have all these products and all these different retail brick and mortar. They can't lower their price. So it's not always a bad thing. And then lastly, it's a big one. It's what a lot of people talk about, not high competition. I didn't say low or medium here because just make sure it doesn't have super high competition. None of this stuff's going to matter if you have a ton of people. If you go there and you can do a good search on Amazon and not find a million people or a bunch of people selling that exact item, it has a chance at least to put it down to where you can keep looking for that product. So optimizations. You must have great optimizations in order to be found in Amazon. This is what I use, my template. I've optimized over 1,000 listings. So I know what's good, I know what's bad. I always start with my brand name in the beginning in caps. And the reason I do that, it's not the best keyword, but people who come back and search your stuff, it registers in their head. So that's worth something. It might not be the best keyword at the very beginning, but at some point when somebody finds your brand and they see it there, they go, oh, boom, that's it. That's my guys. They don't even care about the other listings. So for the long run, it's always going to be good to have that. Next, you're going to have your best keywords immediately after your brand name. So whatever you do with your research, best keywords, don't make it spammy, make it readable. Do not put a whole bunch of junk in there. Follow that by the size, weight, or quantity. Is it single, 2-pack? Is it 8 ounces? Is it small? Is it medium? Is it large? Whatever it is, is there 100 capsules or 250? Whatever it may be, put it next. Next, follow after that with the best benefits and more keywords. So make it readable. Follow that with some more benefits like vegan, non-GMO, or whatever it may be for that certain item. If I'm doing, Diet Coke or something, 0 calories, 0 sugar, that's what you're going to want to put. So next is bullets. They need to be professional looking. You need to have your main keyword very close to the start of the first bullet. Sprinkle keywords throughout. No flashy stuff. Don't do the check marks and the stars. It looks super spammy, guys. There was a time when that was cool and it caught everybody's attention, but that doesn't necessarily work anymore. To me, it just looks cheap. So that's why I don't do it. All right, medium length. You don't need super long bullets. Don't ever have them really short, but don't have them super long unless they need to be. I've seen a lot of great listings do great with just medium length and straight to the point details about the product. You guys, you want to pack them full of details, specs, benefits, main points. So it doesn't have to be super long. And the reason it doesn't have to be super long is because customers and their buying habits, they like to come in, they like to get details, specs, exactly what I'm looking for. They don't want to read a whole bunch of text. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it doesn't have to be super long. Sometimes I get tired of reading super long bullets because it just has junk in there. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But don't just make it long with a bunch of filler words because you want it to look long. You must have one bullet about how your product is premium and one that gives the customer confidence in buying. So you want to have one that talks about how your product is premium, one that says, hey, buy with confidence or guarantee, no question refund. Believe it or not, it helps with conversions, and a lot of people don't return it because they see a bullet. But on the front end, when they go to buy it, it helps with that conversion. Description must break it out in HTML format. Don't put a big block of text in there, and you need to have the main benefit on top. Follow with features, company mission statement, and then tagline at the bottom with the same guarantee you have in one of those bullets. Search terms, 250 characters or less, no duplicates. Best keywords first, and then add any related items. So words like accessories or kit or pack, whatever, maybe bulk, whatever you're selling. Pictures, clear, professional, with the brand on the product, hopefully, to where people can identify you visually, and try for at least 3 or more product pictures, follow it up with some lifestyle photos, and demonstration photos are always good as well. All right, guys, number 3, review strategy. You have to ask for the review. It's just like Tony Robbins says, if a bum comes up to you and asks you for $4, you'll probably give him $4. If he asks for 1, you'll probably give him 1. So you have to ask for the review. A lot of people are scared or they don't know where to do it, but you have to ask for a review. You're not going to get a review unless a customer just likes your review. But I would say the odds of you getting a review skyrocket when you ask for it. So sounds obvious, but a lot of people just don't understand that. 2, think from the ground up. So it has to start with product inserts. A lot of people call me, they already have their stuff at Amazon FBA, and they're like, hey, how do I get reviews? And my thing is, I'm like, the first thing I ask is, do you have a product insert in your product that specifically says, leave us a review? And a lot of people say no. So you have to have the product insert in the package. That's a huge one. It's another point for you to get to ask for a review, because we're going to follow it up with some software, whatever. But every point of contact, you want to touch these people about getting a review. So product inserts, feedback software. You can either do it with a software like Feedback Genius, or you can do it manual in the beginning. So you just go into your orders after it gets delivered. You can just go in there to their name, write them a message, ask them for a review. Keep it really short and simple. Don't do super long messages. Customers, they will not read a long message. I've tested this for 5 years. Short messages win most of the time. The next thing is having an amazing product. So I know this is obvious as well, but having an amazing product is always going to help you get more product reviews. People think you could just get junk on Amazon and you can sell it and blow out 10,000 units sold. It just doesn't work like that. And you're going to get, if you have a bad product or a product that's not amazing, people aren't going to leave the reviews, and they might leave bad reviews. So always have a great product. That's just number 1. The next one is very, very, very important. In the beginning, when I'm looking for reviews, I want to do super low price period. So I might blow out my first 50 units at super low prices. Why? Because if you do have an amazing quality product that people love and you blow it out at 50% of what your competitors are, it's a no-brainer. Then they hit it up, they love it. A lot of the times, even without a product insert or anything like that, they still leave the review because they're like, wow, I got this product for half off and it's better quality than the other products. So it's a great way to get sales. It's a great way to get reviews. Facebook niche groups, not Facebook review groups. Stay away from that stuff. And then certain platforms like JumpSend. So you got to be careful with those. Amazon has a gray area, but don't just go to Facebook review groups for reviews and Go to actual groups that um, they actually are in your niche of your product. All right, guys, number 4, and that's sending to FBA. The reason you need to send to FBA is because Amazon's entire platform is based around Amazon Prime. That's what they push. It just makes sense. That's the foundation of Amazon is Amazon Prime, the shipping, everything. So it's best just comply with it. And it is the best way to go for sure. So 2 to 3 times more revenue with FBA versus merchant fulfilled typically. Not always, depends on the niche, depends on the products, but a lot more revenue if you do FBA as compared to merchant. So world-class shipping, the customer service, they advise you to call them if you have a problem or if your customer has a problem instead of calling you about it if it has to do with the shipping or handling or damage, anything. So it's world class. It's always there on time. They also take the blame for bad service. So if they break something or if it's late or if it doesn't arrive, most of the time they'll take care of it. If it has to do with a bad review because of one of those problems, they'll take the review away. So a lot of things are way better with FBA compared to merchant. It's more passive for you. So you're not shipping the products. All you're doing is sending it to Amazon, and they're doing everything for you. So it's super passive compared to merchant fulfilled. A lot less risk on your end, and it's typically cheaper than shipping it yourself. So if you ship it yourself, you're paying normal rates for shipping. It's normally expensive. Um, if you're shipping a bigger item, it's almost going to be impossible to you still have margin. So it's definitely cheaper for them plus their fee normally than it is for you to even ship the product and get it out there. So it's pretty easy to get your product to FBA. I have other videos on that, but I easily take you through the steps on how to print labels, how to get everything shipped out and checked into Amazon. So lastly, it's a true test of your product. So when you have samples for a product, you want to test real time if your product's going to work. If you get a sample, or let's say you get 5 or 10 samples or 50 samples of an item, and you just do it seller fulfilled, you're not going to actually get the real results. You might only sell 2 or 3 of those items, but you're not going to get the real results as compared to if you sold it on FBA, because that's your end goal for this product. All right, guys, number 5, sponsored ads. So it's a great way to test your product, great way to scale your product, because it's a matter of doing the research and more, upping your bids depending on where you're at. You can also extract data from these ads with search term reports. This is huge. You get to find out exactly terms that customers are searching to find your product and what ones they purchase your product from. So it's an awesome way to get data. You can't really get this any other way than with ads. So this is why ads is so great. It's main way to get exposure. So if you don't have any reviews, it's a new item. It's a perfect way to get exposure, to see if people like it, see if people buy it. It also makes it harder for competitors. So every spot that you take up on the ads, that's one less that competitors are going to have. So you're going to have to bid for it. But it definitely makes it harder. You get suggested on competitor listing pages. So you get to show up on other people's pages that are like items with your ads. So that's what you're paying for, not only in the search, but you're also paying for related items, sponsored items, all that stuff. So you're deterring sellers from competing. So if somebody comes on Amazon and they see 10 people advertising different products for that particular product or that keyword, they're going to be like, well, I don't know if I can compete. So you're just deterring other people. I'm not saying everybody's going to run from that, but it's just one more layer to kind of say, hey, I'm here, and I'm going to stay here. So you're going to have to compete against me. So it might deter some people. And last thing, it's a must to run ads. So very, very, very rarely do clients or myself not run ads. Once you get a big brand and stuff, you might be able to tone it down a little bit. But if nobody knows your brand, nobody knows your product, most likely you're going to have to run ads to your product. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to talk to you guys. That's why I'm doing this channel, is so I can be transparent with you and give you the content that you need to start your business. So tell me what you think. All my contact is down here. Email, you can write me on YouTube. DraperInternetMarketing.com is my URL for my website. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you on the inside. See ya.